chess, the least civilized game in the world. It's all about war. Attack, defend, sacrifice. To win, you not only have to murder your opponent's pieces, but have some of your own pieces murdered by your opponent. Of course, chess is only a limited simulation of the real thing.
Thank you.
Ma'am? Mr. Ambassador, more coffee?
No, less.
Mr. Ambassador, and we had to bring your predecessor in at 2 in the morning for total security. That was just 3 years ago. Today, sir, there'll be a brass band to greet you.
It's a very different world.
I used to worry about what I would say when my grandchildren asked me, "What did you do in the Cold War, Grandpa?" Now I can just tell them I won. I stared down my enemy until he blinked.
Right. Maybe. But I expect it was our VCRs and shiny cars and refrigerators that made him blink. How far are we from the capital?
20 minutes. What the hell is going on? Quiet, help me.
Major, pilot says we're losing power in both engines. Better buckle up, Mr. Ambassador. Sergeant.
You can take off the blindfolds now.
A ver, con cuidado, ayúdenlos. Cuidado. Bien. A las camillas. A ver, mueve los heridos por ahí. Ese lado, levántenle. Cuidado, cuidado por ahí. Tú.
Pasaportes.
Estos otros dos por aquí. Vamos. Vamos, muévelo.
Give them your passports.
Tengan sus armas listas. Córrele, córrele. A ver, prepara que se está cayendo ahí. Muévelo. Cabo. Esto. ¿Qué es lo que está haciendo? Eso, que se mueva por ahí. Dale aquel otro.
You stay here.
Oh, can I see whoever's in charge here? We have people who need immediate medical attention.
You stay here.
The Puño Rojo?
The famed Red Fist.
Our intelligence has them in big trouble.
Well, no supplies out of Havana in over a year. Whatever the Cubans get from the Russians these days, they keep. The government's been pushing them out of the Ocotillo jungle. Well, the first good thing that's happened to them in years.
They'll try to use us.
Oh, you bet. Now, we've got almost as many men as they have.
Are you out of your mind, Major?
Look, I'm supposed to be your advisor. I'm advising you that if it comes down to it...
No, Major. Understand? Thanks. Hey, everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry.
I'm not worried.
Venga conmigo. Sí.
Ah, Ambassador Kelly. How nice of you to drop in.
You have the advantage of me.
Excuse me. Colonel Gregorio Vaccaro. Please sit down. Your son is very handsome.
Thank you.
I had a son just about his age. He was killed when government troops attacked the village where we were hiding.
I'm sorry. Colonel, we're Americans. We're not party to the struggle in this country.
Of course not. You merely supplied the government with the artillery shell that blew his life away. But that does not make you party to the struggle. Of course not.
What are your plans for us?
impressive villa, isn't it? It's the home of a sugar plantation owner, Senor Brancavallo. Fascinating man. Loved games. Here, come, look. Notice the floor tiles. 64 squares. Giant chessboard. And after working in the cane fields all day, 32 campesinos would spend the entire evening shunting life-size chess pieces around the board for the amusement of the patron and his opponent. You're asking about our plans for you. Our agents in the capital will be sending the government a list of 3 demands. In return for your release, we want 6,000 of our comrades being held in government prison, freed. We want the President and the Minister of Defense to resign and be tried for murder. And we want $100 million in military supplies.
They won't agree.
You're probably right. Handsome boy. I'm afraid the pineapple is not as sweet as some.
Colonel Vaccaro, you've been offered safe passage. It's all you can hope for. Take it.
Safe passage is not what I've been fighting for all these years, Ambassador.
True. What you've been fighting for is a more just social and economic system, but that system doesn't work. Open your eyes. Russia, Hungary, Bulgaria, Nicaragua, it simply doesn't work.
It hasn't worked yet.
And it never will.
And this pleases you.
Well, naturally, those who believe in free enterprise have been proved right.
Proved right about what? That man by nature is a selfish, greedy pig? It pleases you to be proved right about that?
Well, maybe pleased is the wrong word.
Yes. Delighted would be more accurate. You see, I've read your articles and your editorials in your press that gloated over the victory of capitalism. Greed has triumphed. Hip, hip, hooray. Well, I believe there is something in every man that sees beyond his own selfish needs. And it's in all of us. Even you, Mr. Ambassador.
No. You see, Colonel, I washed dishes to put myself through college. I worked 20 hours a day to raise the capital to start my own computer firm. Then I worked 24 hours a day to make it a success. Now, I only worked that hard for one reason, for my family. Myself, my wife, and my son.
Oh, yes. Your son.
Colonel, we're entitled to know what you intend to do with us.
How many of you are there?
16.
16. Interesting.
Colonel Vaccaro has broken off negotiations with the government.
What's he gonna do with us, sir?
Vaccaro and I are going to play a game of chess.
Chess?
Yes. For our lives.
You mean he'll kill us all if you lose?
That's what he says. And if I don't play, he'll kill us anyway.
Matthew.
All of us.
He's bluffing. He wouldn't dare. Well, we're Americans, for God's sakes. He puts a finger on us, he's dead meat.
He's dead meat anyway. It's a matter of weeks or days before this place falls. He knows it.
But he could use us to get out of here.
He doesn't want to get out. He intends to fight to the death. To make some sort of statement for his cause.
But why kill us too, sir?
I don't know.
Will we get to watch?
Oh, yes, Corporal. The 16 of us are the chessmen that I'm going to be playing with.
Shall we get started, Mr. Ambassador?
Ese lado, córrele, córrele.
The rules are quite simple. Those of you who are so unfortunate as to be taken by one of my chessmen will be taken out and killed. Quickly and painlessly. If the ambassador wins, all of you who are still with us, when I'm checkmated, will be given safe passage away from here. If he loses, well, I hope you'll all be good sports about it.
Please, not the boy.
If there was someone to replace him, I could oblige. But each side needs 16 pieces. You would not want your husband to play short-handed, would you?
He's a child.
There are many children in the world, Mrs. Kelly. Many with far less chances of survival than your son.
Butcher, why don't you come on down here yourself?
Will you arrange your men, Mr. Ambassador? And may I suggest that noisy young man over there be your king's pawn? A delicate position.
You filthy son of a...
Shut the hell up.
I'll be the king's pawn. Whatever the hell that is. Show me where to go.
Sergeant. Corporal. Lieutenant, Major, save the soft spots for your wife and kid.
There are no soft spots in this game.
Everybody else get into the empty squares in the last 2 rows. Major, you play, don't you?
Yeah.
Colonel Vaccaro, my game is a little rusty. Would you mind if I consulted with Major Sutherland on my moves?
A surprising request from such a rugged individualist. But of course, Ambassador, you may consult with whoever you like. I hope I've made everything clear. Win you live, lose you die. These are the stakes. Now then, Mr. Ambassador, we shall each be allowed 5 minutes per move. And since you have the white men, you may move first.
Sergeant.
Sir.
Move forward 2 squares.
How conventional. I will move queen's pawn to queen 4. Francisco, los cuadros hacia adelante.
I know an opening where you take his pawn. It can put you in a strong attacking position.
No. No, if I take his pawn, then he could take the sergeant with his queen. I think I'd better protect the sergeant. Yeah. Corporal, move forward 1 square.
Let's see. I could exchange pawns, but there's nothing to be gained from it at this point. Besides, it would leave you in control of the center. Still, just might get us into the spirit of things. Francisco, muévete a su cuadro. Queen's pawn, take pawn.
Oh. Dear God. Sergeant!
It's all right, sir. It's not your fault.
Your move, Ambassador Kelly.
I won't go on with this.
Would you prefer you all die right now?
You have to go on. It's our only chance.
Come on, sir. Whip his ass. Corporal, take that black pawn to your right. You're in no immediate danger.
No. No, damn it. I'm not moving. I'm staying right here.
Corporal, I suggest that you do as the ambassador directs. Francisco, be on the area raid, please. I'm afraid it's time you thought of conceding.
Go to hell.
Go on diplomatic, Mr. Ambassador.
Damn him. Keeps making these senseless exchanges.
You keep trying to defend every man on the board. That's why you're losing. You're not taking any risks.
Major, these are not little wooden carvings we're talking about. They're people.
Right. But if you don't stop thinking of them as people and start thinking of them as little wooden carvings, you're going to get them all killed.
Your move, Mr. Ambassador. You have 2 minutes left.
Now, what would you do?
Well, look, he's attacking in both flanks, but he's vulnerable to counterattack up the middle. If you could get your queen to queen 7, it would be mate in 2.
His knight's in the way.
So we have to find a way to get it out of there.
How?
Well, your queen's bishop. Move it to king's bishop 4.
It would be undefended.
Exactly. And if he takes it with his knight, then that will open up the file for your queen, and you can mate it.
Right. By God. You're right. I think it could work. No, Major. That's my son you're talking about. There's got to be another way.
There isn't. Look, he has 3 pieces with clear lanes of attack. Your position is hopeless.
You can't ask me to kill my own son.
If you don't, he'll be killed anyway. So will the rest of us.
20 seconds, Mr. Ambassador.
You have no choice. Damn it.
10 seconds.
Matthew, I want you to walk over and stand in that square. Let him go, Margaret.
Which square, Dad?
That one over there, next to the horse. Go on, son. Go on. That's it.
Francisco, toma el chico. Knight takes bishop.
Cuidado, pendejo.
No, please don't take it. Please, Matthew, no, please don't take it.
Maggie.
You murderer! Yeah, you murderer!
Maggie.
You murderer, Matthew! You murderer,
Now, of course, Mr. Ambassador, you have mate in 3. The game is yours. I concede. Congratulations.
You knew it was a trap?
Of course, it was an obvious gambit.
A trap. It wasn't a mistake. You let them take Matthew on purpose. You murdered your own son. My son.
Maggie.
Don't you touch me.
I had no choice.
Don't you ever touch me.
You maneuvered me into this position, didn't you?
I can't deny it.
In God's name, why?
As I told you before, I believed that in every man, even the most ardent defender of the sanctity of the individual, there flickers the flame of social conscience. That man is ultimately motivated by something much higher than love of self or love of family. This seemed to be an excellent opportunity for me to put my beliefs to the test.
So you murdered a child in cold blood, and the others?
Oh, come, Mr. Ambassador. I may be a fanatic, but I'm not a monster. Francisco?
Mom! Mom!
Sergeant.
I thank you, Mr. Ambassador. I thank you for restoring my faith in man and his ability to sacrifice himself for the common good. Now, if you may gather your things, my men will escort you all to government-controlled territory.
Today, in the Ocotera jungle, government forces raided the headquarters of Colonel Gregorio Vaccaro, the leader of the most hardline faction of the Puño Rojo. An army spokesman said that after vicious hand-to-hand fighting, Colonel Vaccaro and all of his men were killed. Earlier today, I interviewed Major Vernon Sutherland, attached to the U.S. Embassy, who was one of those held hostage by the guerrillas only a few days before their defeat. Major, what sort of a man was Vaccaro?
A madman. A crazed, sadistic lunatic. Nothing more. I can only congratulate the government troops on ridding the world of such a maniac.
President Anaveros said in a statement that with Vaccaro's defeat, the country can now embark upon a new era of peace and prosperity, and that today's events signaled a triumph for all of those who believed in democracy.